Hey there. So we have been talking a lot about social communication, and we know a couple of things that are important for social communication, right? Joint attention, uh, imitation. Today we're going to talk about initiation. And what do I mean by this? I mean the number of times that the child, in this case, is starting up a communication with usually a grown-up. So what can that look like? That can look like a bunch of different things. Pointing to something in the sky, right? That's an initiation of like, hey, look. Taking an adult's hand and walking them over to the fridge. That's an initiation, right? Kid was playing, and then now child has the idea, I want something to eat. I go get my adult, I lead them over to the fridge. And so in the life of a small child, these initiations are happening about every 10 seconds. If you watch most kids, they are constantly initiating. They're constantly seeking the attention of their adult. They're constantly asking for help, showing, telling. They are engaging back and forth with their grown-ups constantly. It's exhausting. But a lot of the kids that I see are not doing that. And so when I see a child who's not initiating, who's more into responding, then I know we've got to do some digging and we've got to look at what's going on socially, social communication. Again, we're not talking about talking necessarily. We're talking about communicating, right? How often am I interacting with you? How often am I the child, smiling at my adult to get their attention versus the adult is doing sort of all the work and the child kind of looks and smiles. So anytime I see a child who's mostly responding, either sort of just by looking or by doing or by talking, and really, again, I hope that by this point we understand that it's not about the words that we're using, right? It's about how we're using what we have, and that can be a smile, a frown, body language, or it can be words or signs. But how we use what we have matters a lot, and how often we initiate matters a lot. And so if I see, and usually what happens is in kids who aren't initiating very often, parents are doing the initiating for them, which makes total sense. You have somebody who's not giving you anything, you go get them. It makes perfect sense. So I often watch parents ask a lot of questions, for example. Oh, do you like the ice cream? And child is nodding or just eating the ice cream. Oh, did you want more? And child is nodding. So, but that sets up this weird dynamic where parents asking all the questions, child's giving all the answers. And that's all that's happening. Whereas in a balanced interaction, we're exchanging responsibility. I'm asking a question, you're answering, you're giving me another question or something else to think about. And then I'm answering that and I'm giving you something else to think about. So it's this chain link where we're constantly opening and closing and opening and closing circles of communication. And it feels very natural. But again, social communication is one of those things where we don't really notice what's natural because it's natural until something's going wrong. And so that lack of initiation or reduced initiation can be another sort of thing that I'm looking for, certainly in the observations that I do. But it's something you can be on the lookout for too. And if you're doing too much work as a parent, and when I say too much work, right, you have to start all of the things, and you feel like you're pulling responses out of your child, then that's worth asking the question and worth talking to somebody like a speech therapist, like a developmental pediatrician who might be able to help you tease out sort of why that's happening and what to do about it. Until next time, take care.